the third one, the third etude, and the person says that they have trouble with it, specifically with the evenness. This is one thing. And then the other thing is that the thumb that goes up here accents. Why does it accent? And if I understood correctly, that they don't get the sound, especially on the top. So what's the reason for that? Also, not sure where to put my hands and arms to best tackle this difficult variation. And that goes again to the basis of this work. The arm always has to be connected. It's like when we go to pick up anything in life, our fingers don't go by themselves. They're connected to some parts in back of them. And then there's the arms move, and then the body moves. You know, we move as one. What we know from this work is that there are parts that initiate those movements because they move quickly. And they're parts, and they move by quick muscles. And they're parts that follow them that cannot initiate, like the upper arm and the torso. They move much slower, and you get tired easily. But if I go to pick up something, I am moving from here, and the rest is following me. So when we start here, and that of course gets to the whole issue, you know, if we have to be connected and we have to be lined up, what is the height? All, you know, many different questions of how to do it and how to go from finger to finger and to be connected. You know, we can't leave anything behind. And that goes to issue of rotation. This is your quickest movement to get from one place to another. And at the same time, it brings the forearm with it. You know, so these are quick movements. For those of you who know rotation, this is a single rotation, preparatory motion to the thumb, a single rotation to the fore. And here is the crossing that Robert is going to talk to explain, but it works whether it's staccato or it's legato. It's a single rotation, brings the thumb right there, the thumb turns this way. You go here straight down because there's finger repeats itself. Whenever finger repeats itself, it's what we call a double rotation. So it plays again, and then it turns into a single rotation. Here it crosses, and then same thing here. Now, since I can't show everything, what would be interesting to see is that you're not only going up and down, but you keep shifting. It keeps going down. The music keeps going down. Now, if you watch me, you will see that my forearm is going right with it. As I'm going down and as I'm playing another harmony and go from one finger to the next, the forearm is right with me. And it goes, again, when it goes from here to here, my forearm is coming a little bit more to the left and goes more to the left. And until it gets to the E. So I'm ending here and I started here. And you can see that there's no way to get down here if the forearm is not moving with me. So this is the whole issue of evenness, and where the arm should be is the whole basis of movement, which is the rotational movement that bring the lateral shift of the forearm. They are also readjusting to different heights of fingers and finger rings and changes of direction, which is what we call shaping. And it's very small. You get a little bit higher to here. To those of you who know shaping in this work, this is an overshape with a tiny undershape. And then it becomes one overshape coming down here again. So there is that. There is also the repeated note. And the answer, why this can accent, why the thumb can accent, if the thumb moves by itself in an isolated way and doesn't have the support of the forearm, it will go faster into the key. And when it goes faster into the key, you will get an accent that you wish you didn't have. So when you get there with the forearm, you can go slow down the key just a little bit so that the sound doesn't come out when you get this kind of an accent. It's because you go too fast into the key. chances are by a finger that is isolated and doesn't have the support of the forearm. So this is one thing, you don't want it here, but here you wish to have maybe a little bit of a sound. There's also a rhythm to it. It's like down, up, down. So it also, the right movements also help interpret the music. To a great degree, they gave us also the ability to control sound, to the quality that we want, to the volume that we want, and so on. Also, this has many, many different things. When you have a repeated note, you don't repeat it exactly in the same spot. It's like the next spot, and here it comes a little bit down. Here it gets a little bit higher. Here it still comes, it changes a little bit the key spot, but it gets down. So the repeated note is also important. The whole issue of staccato. It can't be a very short staccato. You know, if you do that, you're not going to get around. So it's a very mild, I would say, staccato. You know, it's not very short. It's enough to sound short. When you want more sound, you just release a little bit more weight from the forearm. So you can get what you want, and it's nice also to hear the line as it changes. Another place that people have difficulties with is right at the end of the second measure. There is an in, you see an hour. The whole arm should be going in instead of twisting into it. So that's another thing to keep in mind. That also can cause a lot of problems. And then I gave a fingering here that it's a little bit unusual, where we move up to the 5, and there is the crossing. Staccato note, it's the same rotational crossing, but there's no problem if you stay with the same 3rd finger or 4th finger. I gave those fingerings just as a suggestion. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to cover here. I think that I just wanted to say one more thing, that as I'm going down and as I'm adjusting the arm, you see my upper arm is following, and watch also my torso. My torso is moving to the left to make room for the forearm to be right in front, right behind the fingers. If I stay where I started, there's no way for me to get there, and that can cause many other problems. We